Call of Duty is giving up on their game. They somehow decided to make a different way of making the game better without spending any money on it. And so I'm going to talk about that thing in particular, and trust me, you guys are going to want to stay to the end because we are talking about a bunch of issues that are going to come, and I don't see the game getting any better based on these recent posts from their blog posts. So let's get into it, talking about this tweet I just put out. I'll explain a little bit more in detail, but on this tweet, I tweeted out this image, which is from their blog post, mind you. All right, this is their blog post, and it's called Recon Squad. So what is Recon Squad? Well, introducing the Call of Duty Recon Squad. While playing Call of Duty, you may be invited to join the Call of Duty Recon Squad operated by Fuel Cycle, whatever that is. The Call of Duty Recon Squad is a Fuel Cycle research community that will be active throughout Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and Call of Duty Warzone seasons. You'll have opportunities to provide feedback through surveys, online community discussion boards, and potentially even invited to focus groups. Wow. The best of all, any feedback you provide will earn you points in the Recon Squad that you can redeem for Black Ops 6 or Call of Duty Warzone in-game items. Fuel Cycle community research topics will be centered on recently released Black Ops 6 and Call of Duty Warzone content and many other topics related to Call of Duty. We're interested in hearing what you have to say about recent maps, modes, and other seasonal content from our games. This Fuel Cycle community is invite only, so you won't be able to forward this to your friends or family to have them sign up. So any invite you may receive is just for you. All types of players are being invited. No matter what modes or number of hours you play, we want to hear from you. If you receive an invite from Call of Duty via the email related to your Activision ID, don't miss out on your chance to have your voice heard and score some in-game items as a result. This is a smack in the face. This is just so disrespectful to the whole community, and I'm going to explain why. This Recon Squad is a way for them to not have QA testers anymore. We've been noticing it more and more that this game has been dropping content and none of the content works every season. And last season was so bad that to this day, we're about to get Season 2 Reloaded. The new perk that was introduced on day 1 of the season does not work, Mountaineer. You cannot get it. If you put it on, it randomizes your perks and doesn't work. If you get it with Specialist, it'll work. And in Warzone Mobile, it says it works, but then if you go jump off a building or something, you take fall damage or die. It does not work. So they fixed Ghost, they fixed Cold-Blooded, they fixed all of these things they claimed. All of these things. It's like 60-something things, right? But a bunch of them are not fixed. A bunch of them are not working. And that's because they have QA testers, but they don't know what they're doing. Or maybe they're ignoring the QA testers. The map has bugs everywhere in Warzone. Guns falling through the map still. Mountaineer not working. So on. We've been telling them these things are existing on Twitter and on YouTube, and they ignore it. I put out a tweet about the shadow ban system. This tweet has 400 likes. And I said to them, if you're tired of the horrible shadow ban system, like this tweet. Let's all send a message to Call of Duty. I'll let you read the rest on your own time. You can go to my Twitter and check it out. But I explain in depth, this is how the system is working, that I'm dropping my PR, and on my final kill here, I'm getting shadow banned because I'm getting spam reported because I'm just doing well in the game. I haven't gotten shadowed in almost a year. And I'm getting shadowed right before the brand new season drops, the season reloaded. Meanwhile, you can see my AMD texture glitch here because they don't know how to optimize their game. So my game is just blinding me constantly when I look at this guy because he has some skin on that's shiny. So it's blinding me. And I'm like, okay, I guess I have to gas grenade this guy because he's in the building. I'm throwing gas grenades. It's the only building in circle and I haven't been shot at. So I know it's him. I get shadowed. I get shadowed instantly because everybody is reporting me. So this goes to show the system is flawed. And I want you to understand something, right? Going back to the brand new Recon Squad. This is the player displacement on ranked back in Modern Warfare 2. which I know it's like 2 years old now, but you have to, you know, factor in it's probably not too different, right? They stopped doing this because everybody was like, so these are the players you're catering to. Thank you. You can see bronze is 17% of the game. Silver, 33%. This already adds up to 50%. This is 50% of the whole Call of Duty base that plays ranked is bronze and silver. Gold is 23%. Okay, so now the bottom 3 ranks add up to almost 75. We're at 73, right? Platinum is 13%. So now we're at almost 90% of the fucking game is platinum and below, right? It's even more damning thinking 75% is gold and below. But that is a lot of players that are not good at the game. I'm sorry. If you're platinum and below, you're like, okay. Diamond is when you start to say, okay, maybe they could shoot, right? Maybe they could shoot. Maybe they just don't have time to put it in the game. That's only 8% of the audience. Crimson, I still think there's bad players who are Crimson because all you have to do is put a lot of playtime in. That's 3% of the audience. But at least they play the game a lot. They've seen all the bugs. They know the issues. Iridescent is 1% of the whole game. So, if we're factoring in how the skills are across this game, these people are the ones that are going to be telling you what the game needs to change in this Recon Squad. They're the ones that are going to be sitting there saying, actually, I don't like that the game is making me load in and having to get my loadout. I think I should get my loadout at the start as soon as I land in, just like multiplayer. That is the audience that you are probably going to be talking to. There are so many bad players that are going to get into this Recon Squad and are going to give feedback that is not going to help the game and is only going to negatively affect. Now, I've heard people comment on my other videos, well, Rara, don't you know streamers are the ones that ruined Warzone? I want you to really think about this. Really, just take a moment and take a big breath and think about it. I want you to show me one streamer that was in the top, right? I'm not talking about 3 viewers. I'm talking about 100 viewers and more that was asking for Warzone to remove sprinting and plating, to remove sliding and slide cancels, to remove reloading and sprinting, to make it slower, to make it so that you only have 2 plates instead of 3, because those are all the changes that happened when we had Modern Warfare 2 or Warzone 2.0 drop. I don't know anyone that asked for AI, that said, hey, let's add strongholds and make players fight AI like it's campaign while we're waiting to get into a fight. And we'll remove loadouts. Let's remove loadouts. I don't know a single streamer that asked for that. But apparently, Call of Duty added it. Out of the player base, who do you think would ask for that? Do you think the 1% or the 3% or even the 8%? No. Very likely, it's this bottom fragging 75 to 80% down here. That's insane. That's insane that we are going to take the feedback of those players. Who knows if we're even going to get feedback that makes sense? Because they might just ask you, so the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles just dropped and we were wondering, did you like Donatello? Or were you more of a Raphael kind of guy? Huh? Like, that might be the feedback they're asking for, because you can't go off the track of what they're asking. If you get the feedback, you're going to get a questionnaire. You're not going to just say, hey, write an essay. You're going to say, what do you think of this bundle? What do you think of this new mode? What do you think of this map? That's what they're going to ask. It's going to be very specific. And if you trail off from what they're asking you, they're going to probably go, get them out of here. Don't bring up shadow bans, because we don't like to talk about shadow bans. They're not a real thing. until they have to talk about it. Just like skill-based matchmaking wasn't a real thing. They weren't talking about it. Engagement-based, skill-based matchmaking, whatever you want to call it, doesn't exist. And then, when enough players were like, hey, we know it exists. I don't know why you're lying anymore. They finally talked about it in Modern Warfare 3. And they gave us the white papers. These issues are the reason why Call of Duty is failing. And the biggest issue is there's no competition. People brought it up on my tweet. Drilla here says, COD is a hot mess. It's so sad. They will only react if they feel anyone has competition going towards them. He used Overwatch as an example. That's not a good example because it's Activision's product, although they did make a hero shooter for Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4. It was not based on Overwatch's competition. It was more so them going with trends because it's the same IP. Sucks we don't have anything competing with COD at the moment. Which I replied, within 1 month, this game has failed. Also, Overwatch is an Activision title, but Battlefield and Halo has been dead, so they don't care about trying at all. All it takes is one game to rise up like Delta Force or something else, and they will try. Maybe. And that is the big thing, is that Call of Duty does not want to put effort in if there's nothing to compete against. And they're not going to. They're going to continue to casually drift through this community. And as much as everybody says, I'm quitting the game, I'm done, I've done it myself. It is an addicting game cycle that we will all want to play. We all want to jump on and shoot the shit out of the game, hang out with some friends, but it's getting so bad that friends don't want to play with each other anymore because their skill base will hurt their friends and they won't be able to play with them anymore. Because if one guy has an extra hour a day to play the game and he gets better than his friends are going to have a bad time when they play with him. And that's a fact. I've seen it myself. I've seen it with other people. I can't play with my IRLs anymore. I can only play with other people that are playing at a high level that sit in this top 4%. Because as soon as I start playing with these guys, can't compete. They go, everybody's cheating. Everyone's slide canceling. They must be cheating. Slide canceling is cheating to them. People who use controllers with back buttons are cheating. People that have a mix amp or have a sound EQ are cheating. But guess what? Call of Duty's already said all those things are not cheating. But the community still believes it. Now you could say that's because of outside, people telling them what's cheating and what isn't because they can't think for themselves, like Call of Shame or whatever. But the fact still remains, these people are the ones that are going to be in this Recon Squad. They don't know what the game actually is. They're going to be giving feedback on things, saying, well, actually, I think I enjoy the gun leveling. I think when we level guns, we need to be leveling for weeks. That gun should be 200 levels before I get to use it at its fullest. And the camo grind, we don't need camos. Like, those are the people that are going to be giving these reviews. Now, I want to kind of tie this together at the end here by giving you this, because you may disagree with me on most of this video. You may agree with this. A reminder that Activision themselves said most of Warzone changes would be in the mid-season patch. So we have to hold them accountable if that isn't the case on Thursday. And this is from their blog post that I showed you earlier with those 60 changes that none of them went through. Half of them don't work. These improvements won't come all at once. Rather, they'll be staggered throughout the season, and with quite a few quality of life changes coming mid-season. Our priority is having the most solid foundation that Battle Royale can offer, and are excited for all players to see it all live. I'm telling you right now, the bug fixes that they've said they fixed aren't fixed. So for them to say that these will be fixed by mid-season, tomorrow, as I'm recording this video, I highly doubt. And I want you to come back and prove me wrong. Tell me where I'm telling lies. As the great Blame Truth would say, what is the deal? If this video is outdated and then this update comes out and it's perfect and everything's fixed, I will be so happy. I will be ecstatic. I just doubt it. I doubt it. Their track record isn't great. And if I ever need an example, the best one is is still going back to this Mountaineer perk and it being broken. I'm going to show you the Trello board real quick. You can see that they have this Mountaineer perk as fixed scheduled and investigating since January 29th. Since January 29th, it's been on the Trello board, and they just made it so that it's fixed scheduled. We are a month out from that date. How is it that it took this long for a perk to get fixed? And not to mention, they're still investigating all these other ones since January 29th. Firing your weapon immediately after using your parachute, even though it's in the patch notes that it was fixed. They're investigating the fact that you can't revive your other players. They literally don't know what they're doing. They have all these things that they said they fixed back on the Trello board because they're not fixed. We're investigating an issue causing unintended weapon swap behavior after swimming. That has been in the game since almost Modern Warfare 3. These are all so broken. And they don't even have things listed like this one, for instance. We're investigating an issue in Resurgence causing credit for eliminations to be assigned incorrectly. They don't even have the listed, you can't throw your loadout. There's a bug where you get your loadout and it just won't throw it. You could try switching your controls and stuff and flipping your L1 and R1 to your R2 and L2. Doesn't work. You can't throw it. That's not even on here. There are so many issues with this game. They still don't even have listed that the guns are falling through the map. They listed it as fixed, but it's not. It's so bad right now. It's so bad. So for them to say, well, we're going to now switch it up and go to this, Recon Squad, you think that's going to make it any better? We're all screaming from the rooftops the issues that we have. We're all screaming it on Twitter. We're tagging Call of Duty, and they see the tweets. They see the posts. I know so because I'm blacklisted for talking about all the issues in this game. I'm not your typical COD sucker who's going to sit there and blow every dev for making a game. It was your job. You were paid. Thank you for your work. Get out of here. I'm going to call out when the game is bad, and I'm going to call out when the game is good. It is not good right now. It is bad. If you like that I call it out, like the video, subscribe. I'm going to be honest with you every single time. When they add a gun that is bad, like the FAL, the TR2, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to call it out. I'm going to say it's bad. I'm not going to give you a loadout video and say broken meta. If it's not broken, then it's not meta. It's as simple as that. But the people that are going to get invited to Recon Squad or whatever the fuck it's called and COD Next, I'm sorry, a lot of them are going to be the ones that just love to slobber on the knob. That's just how it's going to be. And just remember when you're watching certain people that if all they do is slob on the knob, that's going to happen. I'm not saying everybody that goes to COD Next slobs on the knob. Listen, let's be real. People like J God call it out. If there's issues, they talk about it. They're a little more respectful than me, but they call out the issues. Exclusive Ace. Guys like that, they call out the issues. I'm not saying there's not people that are outliers. But if you see a 1,000 subscriber YouTuber or a 200 follower Twitter account or a 500 follower Twitch account and they're invited to COD Next, sorry to tell you, they're probably slobbing on the knob. And that's just how it goes. You know how the work world is. If you know someone, you know someone, and you're going to get in. Just don't talk negatively about that someone, or you're not going to get in. I don't know anyone. I got no friends. I have no circle around me. I do what I do. I make the content. I drop it. So, hope you enjoyed. Do me a favor. Go check out my audio app. I could plug one thing. RaraAudioApp.com. We try to make the audio better for Call of Duty because they can't do it. So, we might as well try. I'll see you guys in the next video.